Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Z, Zazaball, Z Money, whatever you want to call me. Today's video is entitled Habits I Practice for Strong Mental Health. Again, like I'm a work in progress. This isn't a self-righteous video by any means. This is more of a video of me giving you tips and tricks and habits that I use, as well as just reminding myself of what I need to be doing on a day-to-day to keep myself mentally strong. Point number one, do not smoke weed. So I've made, I'm pretty sure, a few videos about this over the past couple of years. But one thing that I do to maintain optimal mental health is to refrain myself from smoking weed, smoking marijuana. It's something I used to struggle with a lot. I used to smoke many times a day, and I had to gradually work myself off of it, over the past 5 or 6 years. And now I'm at the point where I don't smoke weed at all. But it's something I continually practice. Like, I don't go back to, because I know that when I do smoke weed, it lowers my quality of life. I get lazy, I get depressed, I get like high, and then I come crashing down like low. And so to avoid that negative mental pitfall, I just refrain from smoking at all. It also used to give me anxiety and like fear and worry. And these are all things that, just that grieve the Holy Spirit, if we're being honest. And these are all things that we don't need to be doing, that we don't need. Point number two is meditation. I've definitely made a video about this in the past, a couple of years ago when I started YouTube. Meditation is something that helps me to reset my mind and reconfigure my mind. It helps me to become aware of like what I'm thinking and like what's actually going through my head. I like to do it in a way where I can like breathe in really deeply, hold my breath, right? Let my lung capacity expand, just let my thoughts flow, try to remove thoughts, understand what I'm thinking about, and it just helps to kind of reposition my energy. It kind of helps my energy to keep flowing in a positive direction versus just sitting on my bed like feeling like these heavy feelings. So that's one practice that I've been practicing for about 5 or 6 years now. You guys can check out my video. I'll try to put that link into the description. Number three, prayer. It's something that's important for me, especially because I like to say my prayers throughout the day, but I do a lot of praying at night as well. Like before I go to bed, I talk about the things I'm struggling with. I ask Yah to help me with the things that I want to fight, with the battles that I'm having mentally, physically, emotionally. I try to be as vulnerable as I can, learning how to pray. I'm learning different ways of praying, like, praying with my Bible open instead of just like having my Bible somewhere tucked away. Praying with my Bible open, reading scriptures, reading verses, talking to God, using his scripture is something that really, really helps, because there's power in the word, and it's just really important that we understand and know scriptures, and that we're praying, and that we're putting our faith in something. Romans 10:17 says that faith comes by hearing the word, right? So in order for me to have faith, I got to hear the word of Christ. I got to hear the word. I have to hear the good news, and I have to fill myself up with that over and over and over. So that comes with praying, that comes with meditating on the Bible, and that comes with, reading scriptures as well. Point number four, refraining from and fleeing from sexual immorality. This looks like staying away from corn, refraining from masturbation, and just like lustful thoughts and lustful actions, sleeping around with people and sleeping around with women. I've done all of these things. In fact, I still struggle with these things today. That's why I'm making this video, not because I'm better than anybody, but because it's a reminder for myself on how I want to carry myself moving forward as a young man. And this is something that I'm still battling, number four, but refraining from it, the more I practice this, the more I grow stronger in this habit of faith, the better the results are for me. I have more mental clarity. I'm stronger. I speak better. I'm able to make eye contact with people. I just have better energy overall, to go do things, to go work out, to go, I'm not as depressed. I don't have mood swings as often. My body, I don't feel like in pain, and like my body like will physically hurt sometimes when I'm engaging in these immoral acts. So just refraining from, like releasing my seed and releasing our seed helps us. I feel like, and I'm not an expert on this. I'm just saying what I feel, right? Refraining from, watching stuff online, refraining from, masturbation and all of these things, I think really, really helps us to keep our mood higher, and it helps us to keep our minds sharper. That's what I mean. Point number 5, long walks. So I know a lot of you guys on here probably take long walks. I take a lot of long walks, where I live in New York City or whenever I'm visiting like a family member or a friend. So I will often go out and take a long walk. It helps me in my mental health. It helps me to digest my food. It helps me to kind of even go into prayer, actually. Like, I'll take long walks and I'll like even go into prayer while I walk, and I'll talk to the Most High, and I'll spend that isolated time alone with God. It's a good way to kind of just like release some of the the stuff that's going on in my head. I can get up and actively move my body around. It's a really good habit, and it's a really good mental health practice for me, specifically. So I would definitely suggest that to all who are watching as well. 6, reading books. Reading books keeps my mind sharp. It keeps my vocabulary intact. What else does it do for me? Reading books helps me to just expand my perspective as well. It teaches me new things. It teaches me new ideas. It gives me new perspectives, right? It also keeps my mental health strong because I'm filling my mind with something. I'm being active. I'm not just sitting there and feeling like lonely and sad and depressed. I'm actively putting something in my mind to combat the feelings that I'm feeling. That way I can feel elevated. I can feel intelligent. I can feel smart. I can feel rejuvenated, right? And, sometimes I'll try to like get outside and read a book. I go sit down outside if it's nice out and go read a book, or sometimes I just have to stay inside and read books. But reading books is something that's definitely helped me as well. Even like if I'm just like waiting for the train or something, like, to go somewhere, like I'll try to pull out a book or read something like a little pamphlet or something I have. It helps me just to kind of keep the thoughts moving and flowing in my mind and not just staying stagnant. Number 7 is fasting. Fasting is something that I am working on practicing more often. But when I fast, I typically I'll do like a no water fast and a no food fast together. So no water, no food for, a few hours out of the day, whether that's 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. or whether that's just the morning time from like 7:30, 8 o'clock to like 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, or whether that might be sometimes I fasted for 24 hours, right? For a whole day, right? And so fasting helps me to kind of move closer to the Most High, hear his voice, discern his voice. It also helps me to get in tune and in touch with my own thoughts and what I'm thinking about, right? And it just helps me to kind of just overall slow things down a bit, right? When your body is digesting food and processing stuff, you have less energy. And so like that energy that your brain could be using to process new ideas, creative thoughts, creative imaginations is going to digesting food. I'm not saying food is bad, right? There's some foods that are bad for you, right? But I'm saying that doing fasting, as a habit, as a practice, or even every now and then, if that's, where we should start, I think that's important. I think that's very, very important. And I want to, go more into that topic and delve more into that in a whole separate video as well. So stay tuned. 8, limited social media scrolling. That's something I did a video about a few years ago as well. Limited social media and scrolling is key. It's essential. I could go on for a long time about that. When you're on social media constantly, you're looking at other people's highlight reel. You're looking at all the positives. You're looking at all of these things. And we fill our brains up with other people's lives. And we stop focusing on our own lives because we're just consuming. Not only are we consuming other people's lives, we're consuming just random content that has nothing to do with our purpose, our goals, our vision, our focus, right? So we're consuming all these things. And by the time we get off, we're kind of exhausted. I know I feel that way. I'm exhausted by the time I leave social media. Social media and scrolling is literally an energy vampire. Quite literally, it steals your energy and it gives you nothing in return. It gives you that cheap dopamine hit, that you get And then as soon as you try to go in there for 5 minutes, and as soon as you try to get off, you realize you just spent an hour and a half on there, 2 hours. Like, where did the time go? So I've been practicing social media fasting or limited social media. I've been practicing that for about six years now, since 2019, for about 6 years now. And I think it's a game changer. It's truly a game changer. And I would highly advise anybody to take a day off of social media. Just delete Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, even YouTube. Delete it for a day. Okay, cool. You made it 24 hours. Now go 2 days. Now go 4 days. Now go a week, right? And you'll start to see how it improves your mental health. I think that this point is one of the biggest points, and it's one of the things that I think it's like the first thing we need to do. One of the first things we need to do so that we can align with everything else that's on this list. It creates more time in your life, right? When you're not simply just scrolling throughout the day, it creates more time in your life for you to do productive things that help your mental health and keep you strong mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. That's all I got for you guys today, YouTube. Comment down below any mental health habits you guys use to keep your mental health strong. I would love to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys do. And that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Peace.